Hey, I passed Microsoft DP-100. Can I now apply and work as a data science engineer? Welcome everyone. My name is Mohammed Marwan. I'm a certified Microsoft trainer and also having a master degree in artificial intelligence. Today I'm going to answer different questions related to DP-100 course, Microsoft course, and what you need to learn to be a real data science engineer. And also I'm going to explain my way as a trainer and a consultant. What is my way to deliver DP-100 course? So let's start with the first question. So the first question is, if I'm going to pass and attend DP-100 course, which is Azure Data Science Engineer, can I work and apply for a data engineering or data science engineering position? The answer is unfortunately no. You cannot work as a data science engineer simply by passing DP-100 or even if you will pass AI 102. So you are not going to be solid enough to satisfy all the job requirements. Because DP-100 doesn't teach you about machine learning knowledge and concept, which are very much important. It considers that you are a machine learning engineer or you are already having a machine learning background. You are a person who been developing a lot of machine learning models using different programming language like R or Python programming language. And now you want to learn how you can take that development process, model development process, from creating a model locally within the company network using a company server into the cloud. How you can take that development process to the cloud level and how you can deploy it and make it accessible for the end user to consume your model. This is simply what is DP-100. It's not about teaching you how to create a model. It's about taking your model from being deployed within the company network to the cloud. So is it going to be enough to go with DP-100 to get a data science engineering job? The answer is absolutely no. The second question is, what do you need to learn so that you can be qualified and solid enough to apply and take data science engineering position? Now, there are a lot of different skills which are required for you to have so that you can satisfy the job requirements for data science engineer. And here I'm going to mention some of these skills which are essential for you. The first thing is, of course, to have the fundamental of data mining and in general, what is data analytics. It's very important because the AI and machine learning is part of data analytics. So you need to understand what is data analytics, what types of data analytics, what are the different ways or tools available for data analytics, and then you can go and start learning about machine learning. So the second thing or the second skills I would recommend is to learn about machine learning algorithms. There are many algorithms available, of course, but you don't need to learn about each and every single algorithms. There are popular lists, a very common list of algorithms which people they use. You can start with these kind of algorithms so that you can understand how machine learning works. So it is not a magic. There is a mathematical equations which are going to work on the background of these algorithms. So you need to know from mathematical point of view how the algorithm is working from mathematical point of view. After you master mathematically how the algorithm work, now the second step is going to be about building a model using these algorithms which you already learned, using some tools like programming language. So you can use Python, you can use R, you can use any programming language you want, but usually people they use Python because it's very easy to create a model using Python, and Python is a very powerful programming language and you can use it for or as a multi-purpose programming language. So I recommend everyone to learn about Python, especially for machine learning. Now, also, you need to learn about how to evaluate the model because it's very important. But at the end, you are not going to create one model. You will be creating a lot of different models for the same task or for the same problem, for the same business objective. And you need to pick and choose the best model among all the options you have. So you need to have that skills of evaluating the model. It's very important. You also need to know about data transformation and data visualization because you cannot guarantee that the data which you will be getting from the client or from the data engineer is going to be in a perfect shape. So you need to know how to clean the data, how to apply some data pre-processing to make it ready for the model development. It's very important and it is essential as well. Also, at the end, you need to know, after you create a model and after you test it, you need to know how to deploy the model. Because deploying the model will allow you to share it with the end user so that the end user can consume it. And for you to deploy the model, especially if you want to deploy it locally within your network, you need to know and learn about API. And you need to learn about how you can create your own API for your model, the API which will be used by the end user. It's very important and it is essential as well. And also, it will be an added value if you know how, or if you have some knowledge about maintaining data on a database like SQL, Oracle, etc., etc. So these are some and not all the skills required. If you will go, for example, into LinkedIn, and if you will try to filter data science or machine learning engineer, you just go and see the skills required from the market. It's huge. People nowadays, they want the machine learning engineer to know everything. Whatever I mentioned, this is something which is mandatory. This is something which you cannot afford to have less than what I told you about. You need to master all the skills which I mentioned. And in addition to that, if you want to go and learn about big data, of course, it's an added value. It's very important to learn about big data. It's very important to learn about also deep learning algorithms, etc., etc. But what I mentioned, these are mandatory skills for a data engineering or data science job. Now, the last thing I would like to say is how me as a trainer or consultant, how I conduct DP-100. It's always difficult to make sure that the participants who is going to attend this course, they have machine learning background. Now, most of people I provide throughout my 7 or 8 years in this field, most of people in our region, they don't have machine learning or even AI background. It's very common that none of the participants will have the knowledge. So what I do is I don't start immediately with DP-100 concept or content. I go and I cover the fundamental part of machine learning. It's very important, like what is the meaning of a model, what is the meaning of the algorithm, how we can do how we can create or develop a model, what is the difference between supervised and unsupervised machine learning, how to evaluate it, etc., etc. These are very important terms which we will use whenever we are creating a model. So I cover that part in a brief, and also I cover how to create a model using Python and using what we call it Azure Classical Machine Learning Studio. So unfortunately in DP-100, they don't cover machine learning basics. As I said, they don't cover how to create a model, whether it is through Azure tools itself or by Python. So they consider you that you are already a machine learning engineer, so you should know about how we can create a model. So I cover that. For me, it's a missing part. I cover that gap by providing more knowledge about machine learning basics and how finally you can create a model. After that, I start DP-100 to show the participant, okay, now we know how to create a model. Let us now deploy it using Azure machine learning services, and let us see how we can deploy it on these tools. So this is the sequence I go through, and they found it very successful. Everyone will be able at the end to have the skills which will allow them to go back to their office and start creating a real project successfully. So DP-100, as I said, even if you will attend it, even if you will pass the exam, this doesn't mean that you can create a successful machine learning projects. You need to have the basics, and you need to know about creating a model using different tools. So my advice to you, don't attend DP-100 until you are familiar with machine learning basics and you know how to create a model. At the end, if you have any questions about learning artificial intelligence, machine learning, please do not hesitate to leave your question in the comment area. Thank you and happy learning.